Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a haul video that I'm excited to show you. It's going to be super short and sweet, just because that's all that I've got currently listed and able to show you. I'm really trying to put out these videos, or when I put out these videos, that the items that I'm showing you are going to be ready and available for you to purchase. If you don't see them listed, more than likely it is because it has sold, but sometimes it's because an item needs to be cleaned or taken to the dry cleaners or needs a little bit of TLC before I can get it listed. So I needed a little bit of a break. I took last week off from YouTube because I needed to lighten my load a little bit, just because life is crazy right now. It's crazy for a lot of people right now. We are homeschooling right now. I am homeschooling my 3rd grade daughter. She is 8 years old and it's going very well. It's challenging, but also very rewarding. And sorry, I've got something in my eye. We decided to go that route instead of the program that her school is providing, and really happy with that decision. But again, yeah, it's work. And you know, we're doing stuff around the house, trying to get some house projects done, and of course I am selling crap on the internet. But not crap, good stuff. Okay. Yeah, so let's get into this haul. This is going to be collective. Some of this is from an estate sale that I went to. Some of this is from thrift stores. Some of this is from crap that I am clearing out of my house. So, which is technically not a haul, but kind of. So that's a big tip that I have, is don't forget about selling the things that you already have in your house, in your possession, already paid for, that you can just get rid of. So, especially during these weird times where sourcing is not guaranteed, that is a big tip. So I've got my morning coffee with me. If I look extra tired, it's because I am. It is like 4:30 in the morning. I've actually been up since 3. I couldn't sleep and decided to get an early start to my day. So let's just get into it. Enough babbling. Let's see. I think I'm going to actually start with hard goods. I do have some hard goods to show you. I'm going to be channeling a little bit of my inner lavender clothesline, Karen. She is amazing. If you don't know her, if you haven't watched her before on YouTube, she's so fun. I've learned so much from her, and I think just because I just identify with her sourcing style, like that's kind of how I do things. That's why I really like to watch her. I do a lot of my sourcing based on research. I do have a lot of experience now at this point in the game. But I also pick up things a lot just based on instinct. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. So I'm going to take one sip of my coffee and put it down. Let's get into this, guys. And also, I apologize for this being uploaded on a Thursday. I'm trying to have Wednesdays be my upload day, but I missed it yesterday, missed last week, and I didn't want to go another week without posting videos. So thank you for bearing with me. So, okay, enough goofing around. What am I going to start with? I'm going to start with something that's not like a high dollar value item. But I'm a sucker for these, so I pick them up if they're cheap. This is just a brass figure. This is probably like 80s, 90s. It's pretty common. You can find a lot of these on eBay. Made in Taiwan. I can't remember. So depending on where or when, where the item was made, will typically tell you the date of the item. That's going to help you date the item. This guy's going for like $10 to $15 on eBay plus shipping. I paid $2 for him, so not a great ROI, but he was on an estate sale and I couldn't leave him behind, so he came with me. So that's probably the least exciting thing, or at least the least exciting hard good. A more exciting hard good is these amazing bookends. So these are true Art Deco, there's 2 of them, bookends. I'm already blanking on the name of this. It starts with an H, what company made this, but these are called the Starburst bookends. They of course were originally shiny and pristine when they were new, but they have quite a bit of patina, which does not hinder the value. If you find something with patina like this on it, leave it on there and just put that in one of your keywords, because people actively search out antiques with patina on them. So these are, again, like I said, true Art Deco. These are Starburst. These are from the 30s, and they're awesome. I bought these at an estate sale, and I have them currently listed for $50. So lots of interest in them already, so very excited about that. So I have another Art Deco piece, and this is kind of a strange piece, so just bear with me for a second. Okay, so I don't know what it is, but I'm kind of drawn to these religious pieces. Sometimes if I find something that is religious, particularly like Christian art, some of it can be very intricate and very beautiful, and it can be things that people are actively searching for. So I'm mostly attracted to the uniqueness or the detail or the beauty. It's just interesting to me from like an artistic perspective. But I also like things that are very strange and unusual, because typically when I pick up something that's strange and unusual, it brings a high dollar amount. So this is definitely one of those things. Okay, so this is I'm building up the suspense here. So this is a Madonna Virgin Mary little figure statue porcelain thing. But she is Art Deco style and very weird, but so cool. So look at this. She kind of looks like an alien to me, not gonna lie. But do you see, I'm hoping that it's picking up the detail of the paintwork on her. But like, how cool is this? This is super weird. So I saw this at one of my favorite little hole-in-the-wall places that I find a lot of really odd things at and a lot of high value things at. And I saw this and I was like, man, that is super weird. And I couldn't stop. I didn't pick it up right away, but I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I knew that I just needed to grab it. So, yeah. And amazingly, she has no chips in her for being as old as she is. It's just, I don't know. It's really cool to me when you can find weird stuff like this. I don't typically find unique items like this at like a Goodwill or something like that, at least in my area, in my experience. I find these type of weird things more at the smaller mom and pop thrift shops, if you catch my drift. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Okay, so this is a, okay, I'm gonna butcher my German, but it's Nesselwein maybe? But this is an Austrian designer sculptor who's made at least a few different of these type of weird Virgin Mary, Madonna figures. And so I paid $8 for her, and I didn't check comps or anything. At this particular place, I don't check comps, which is not really good advice. I would not suggest doing that unless you really know what you're doing, you're a little bit more seasoned, or you just have really good intuition. I just knew that this was weird enough that somebody has to want this, okay? Somebody has to be looking for something like this. I mean, it's just too cool. So I ran comps on eBay. The listings, there are a few others of these listed, but they're not as intricate and ornate. Some of them are just plain without like the detail, but they're all listed for over $100. There's one with a pink veil that has sold for, I believe, like $125. So I don't know. I think that this is definitely going to be a long tail item, but at this point in the game, I am okay with long tail items, especially if they're going to fetch me a higher dollar. Now, I don't know if she is going to sell for that much, and I'm just gonna have to wait it out and see, but it is bringing traffic into my store because, like I said, Art Deco, if you can find anything Art Deco, which I am going to an estate sale tomorrow that is having that has quite a few Art Deco pieces that I am like dying over. But anyway, I digress. Art Deco is a very good category to start looking into, and mid-century modern. So just a couple tips for you guys. Sorry, my throat's getting dry. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. Oh, okay. So now moving into the 1940s, this is not something that I thrifted. This is actually something that I got from my dad. My dad gifted this to me a long time ago, and I put it in a cupboard and forgot about it. Mostly because my dad gave it to me to use, but because I am a weirdo who researches a lot of things, I was concerned about the lead content in this particular item for me to feel comfortable using it personally. But just a little tip out there, if you are going to personally use vintage ceramic ware, it's a good idea to double check that it doesn't have high contents of lead in the glaze. And you can also test that yourself, so rather inexpensively. So just a little tip out there. But lots of people purchase these items for decorative purposes. It's mostly decorative purposes. So I don't want to say like this is like a liability risk, but yeah, so anyway, I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent here, but this is a little 1940s, sorry, it's like the lid is not all the way attached, refrigerator picture, my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to take this lid off. So the lid just kind of sits on there. So here, I'm going to hold it like this so you can see it. It's really cool. So like when you would purchase a refrigerator in the 40s, typically you would get a picture like this included with it, according to my dad. So he collects these, a lot of other people do, and apparently the lid, finding them with the lid is harder and a little more rare. So I am thinking I'm going to be listing this guy for around that $50 mark, but we'll see. Possibly a little bit more, just because I like it. Sometimes I do that when I like pieces. I like it, but not enough to keep it. Does that make any sense? Anyway. Alright, so that was loud. The last hard goods item is actually another thing that I cleaned out of my cupboard. This might not seem exciting, but this is a bolo, definitely, if you would at all come across this brand or these products. So some of you might recognize the symbol, some of you might not. So I've got 3 here. I've got 2 of these kind of oval tea tins and 1 of these giant canister tins. So this is Teavana brand. Teavana does not exist anymore, really. It kind of sort of does under Starbucks. Starbucks bought them several years ago, but surprisingly enough, I mean, I shouldn't say surprisingly enough, because I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that this brand has and still has a cult following. I used to work for Teavana for a number of years, many moons ago, and I used to have a lot of the products, like the cast iron teapots, tea, the whole shebang. And over the years, as I've tried to get rid of things, I've sold them off, and I'm really regretting doing that because seeing the comps on some of that stuff on eBay is just mind-blowing. So these are just tea tins, and they're not in perfect condition. Like, I have used them and abused them. But I'm thinking for all 3 tins, I can probably get about $30. So we'll see. So if you have any of the tea bags or sealed bags of tea, those are going for some crazy money right now. So just keep your eye out, see if you can find anything Teavana related, because it might fetch you a good profit. Okay, so I'm going to move into clothing last. As you can see, I don't have that much right here. I did already sell a few pieces from this haul. This is all from an estate sale. So we'll get right into it. Okay, so this first piece is an Anthropologie piece. This is Moth, if you have not seen the tag before. And this is also new with tags, which is awesome. It's this little wool alpaca shrug with these cute little buttons on them. It's got like a little owl, an acorn, and a leaf. So especially with this cottagecore trend being so hot right now, I just couldn't leave it behind, and the price was really good, so I grabbed it, and it was new with tags. So lots of people are already watching, showing interest. I'm seeing traffic coming to my store from this. So yes, I'm very excited that I found this. So this is definitely an older piece for sure, but it works with current trends right now. And in my experience, Anthropologie sweaters tend to do pretty well. So there's that. Okay, so this next item is a brand that I love to sell. This is Peruvian Connection. So be on the lookout for this brand. As you can probably see, it does have a few holes right here. Somebody shoved one of the barb tags in during the estate sale right there for some reason, and it snagged, but I got this for really, really cheap. I think it came out to being like $2 after the discount, because another pro tip, if you go to estate sales on the 2nd, 3rd, or sometimes the 4th day if it goes for 4 days, if you go towards the end, the discounts are going to get heavier. So just a little pro tip, you can definitely still find gems at the end of the sale, and, you know, get more bang for your buck. So I'm not expecting this to sell for a ton because of the little holes. It is a tunic, but it will definitely sell. It's got, again, it's getting traffic to my store. People really, really love this brand. It does have a cult following to it. So yeah, Peruvian Connection. All right, this next piece was kind of an oops. It's a 346, which is the lower line by Brooks Brothers. I love selling Brooks Brothers women's pieces. They can tend to sell for a lot of money. I thought that this was cashmere because I picked up some other cashmere from the sale, and that has already sold. So another bolo, just pretty much any brand of cashmere, as long as it is in excellent condition, I pick it up. I thought that this was cashmere, but it is actually merino wool. So, and it does have a small spot. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on the front. It's really, really tiny. But I will still get more than I paid for, at least double my money. So it's just like a little layering piece, shell, whatever you want to call it. So there's that. All right, so I have another new tag Anthropologie piece. This is a brand within the Anthropologie brands that I've actually never heard of. I think it's Charlie and Robin. Again, new with tags. Cute little shrug. Again, that cottagecore granny style that's like super hot right now. Even though, again, this is a older piece and a little more dated, it's not really right now with the current trends. So, yeah, I'm excited to have this in my store, and hopefully it sells soon. Alright, this last piece, last but not least, I have a brand that I personally love. I own, let's see, I own one piece by them right now. No, actually 2 pieces, I'm sorry. One bought secondhand, one bought at Nordstrom Rack, because the retail on this brand is just ridiculous. But This is a piece by Vince, which is crazy high end. The resale value is really, it's definitely gone down. I still pick up Vince if I find it in good condition or in decent condition, because the brand still does have a following. It's just, I think that people need to adjust their expectations of what it's going to sell for. And I think that sometimes people say it's not worth picking up because it's not fetching really high money. I would still say that Vince is worth picking up as long as it's not a dated style, which to me personally, I think that all Vince is pretty timeless, but this is definitely an older tag, not a super old tag, but older. But it's this beautiful kind of draped front silk blouse. Vince does a lot of pieces that are kind of draped in the front like this, or draped like crossed over. Just gorgeous. It's silk. It does have a few like little spots and some snags, but I couldn't leave it. Yeah, so somebody needs this in their life. And it's just this beautiful like mint green. It's like the color of my walls, but I love it so much. So that, I think, concludes it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite piece was that I picked up. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the items that I picked up. And I just want to know how you guys are doing. And I hope that you are all ready and excited for fourth quarter, because it's here. It is the home stretch now until the end of the year. And if you've not sold before in fourth quarter, it gets a little cray-cray. And definitely parts of September were a little bit crazy. But crazy is good because it means sales are good. So I will catch you guys next time, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.